There you go. Just stop. I'm so slow, but I think you heard it. And let's get the timestamp. There's sprinkling outside. All right, looks like March 22nd, 2019, 6:58. That is a burglar alarm motion detector going off my attic. And of course, my first call for a burglar in this house was in November 2010. 14 months later, my phone lines are cut. I'm shot with burglar alarms going off. I saw a person in my attic. I've heard them fart, cough, snore, giggle. You know, had a person try to extort money over it. I've had hundreds and hundreds of these motion detectors go off. Heard them, fall down, move around, etc. It's a real person. I suspect connected to human trafficking. Multiple people saying there's an underground facility by this home, and so I believe they're here to protect that. And I've patiently waited on legitimate law enforcement to make these arrests and stop these crimes. Obviously, they would know about that $1 million underground facility that multiple people have talked about. I'll show you, just while I'm here, some of the Facebook posts going on today. Let me get that up. Okay. See, I don't really think that was an accidental. They have, just like Lance Eggleston says, we have, access to your residence at all times. So, and they really do. And they've been up, they've been here, daily for years. And so, it was on purpose. Then the question is, why did they set it off, And so that's still unknown. Recent double homicide in San Angelo. I was doing the research there, trying to see if maybe that was connected to the crimes here. It looks like this guy right here is the guy that murdered two people and then set the house on fire. And that was kind of an interesting last comment from this guy here, right before that double murder happened. And and here it is, Odessa. So very possibly tied back to the crimes here that's going on in the Midland, Odessa area. And then these were the two victims, and I had at least four mutual friends with that one and friends of friends on Facebook. Okay. The other thing I've been posting about yesterday was the Brotherhood. Okay, and this is really about Satanism. And I bought a book recently called Set the Captives Free. It's by a doctor that's on Satanism. And she mentioned this cult called the Brotherhood, spoke about big sex and drug parties. And what was interesting is I just happened to, that video that I posted so many times called $1 Million Underground Facilities, where the woman called me on the phone. I secretly recorded her. She said that 4 3-bedroom underground homes, 25 foot deep, each costing $1 million a piece. They were having pizza or pedophile parties there. She called them the Brotherhood, and that's what this woman said was called that Satanist cult. Okay. And so then, I got to thinking, well, my attorney mentioned Satanists several times in reference to the crimes here at my house. And other people I've ran into around town have mentioned Satanists, And then the first person to arrive at my house, according to the Empire Private Investigation, was Martin County Sheriff John Woodward. This is Midland County. It's still unexplained how a sheriff from a different county shows up at my house minutes after I survive a murder attempt, but he did. And then there was a news article found where he's getting this tattoo, a Santa Muerta tattoo. It's a saint of death, and that is it's a Satanist cult, is what it is. It's reference. I found an article, a news article, Midland Reporter Telegram. I've got the links to that. And then just recently, there was a young neighbor two streets over that died, and I went and looked at his Facebook. One of his last comments was, "You satanic bastards." And so once again, it seems here's some of that. And this was interesting too. I mean, the next street over was a nice idea, haha. And I wondered if he wasn't talking about my home, and that maybe the entrance and the people that are going underground and coming up here was next street over or whatever, and that way you can't see them when they do that. They can't see them come and go, etc. And that woman did say there were 4 3-bedroom homes. So there, I suspect there's probably 3 others. There might be one under my home. Okay. And then you can see some of his other comments here, this is the guy that died. Okay. Recently, Jeremiah Paulinus. And you can see his comment there. Okay. You said Satanic. And here, Christ is my king, forgive me. Christ my king, forgive me. You Satanic sons of bitches. 18-wheelers, everything. And then he died, And so I don't know what happened there, but and I put follow-up links. There's the news articles, that I got this from. And why disable the cameras basically shows that sheriff showing up, and I had just crawled out and left, and they wasn't dispatched. Took 6 years to get them identified, and and even to this day nobody can tell us why. And then the second one showed up. He's not even alive anymore. And so I'm gonna show you there. And so that very first car right there is the sheriff from a different county. I just crawled out and left, and is followed by Mike Naylor. Okay, and here was last November. There was a band coming to town. It was a Satan worshiping band. But a lot of stuff in the news about that. And then this one was from that book, and it says, and I just took a screenshot of it, and it talked about discipline within the Brotherhood. It says sex for the others in the cult was free and easy about all time. Also, sex with children, very high percentage of children within the cult regularly were molested at a young age, etc., etc., etc. And that's some of the same things that is suspected of going on in the underground facility here. A young girl was murdered. I believe a young girl was murdered 2010 old show party when she refused to prostitute. And then a neighbor come by. I recorded her. She was telling me that there was children buried under her house right down the street. And I've posted that. That wasn't even that long ago. This is Buddy Webb, Midland, Texas. The crimes still continue.
Too many rituals. It's all very spiritual, to be initiated into this brotherhood. And so he couldn't go too in-depth with it, but his great-grandfather was a knight, so he was able to give me some insight into it. But I even asked him about the pizza parties. They said they're not called pizza parties, but I know what you're talking about.
Right, the pedophile parties.
Yes.
And and see, a couple of weeks, you probably read all this before, but a couple of weeks after I got out of the hospital, that ex-wife comes by my home, and she says, "You don't know how many lives you ruined with your idiocy." And of course, my idiocy was staying home and minding my own business. I'm shot inside my home. And but what she was saying was a lot of people were here, and they're going to have their lives ruined. And
do you know about how many feet that gun pushed through? How much ground it was? Because he said that these houses are 25 feet under, at least 25.